Imposter syndrome. There's a lot of people that say, oh, you should lean into it. Oh, you should do this. You should do that, and like what it actually is. And people just get lost in the whole concept of imposter syndrome. Today's episode is the secret to imposter syndrome is, I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm actually going to tell you towards the end. But it's going to be an important one. You're going to want to hear this all the way through. This is the kind of thing where you don't want to shortcut, skimp your way through, or fast forward, or put me on high speed, because you actually want your brain to get it and to lock in on it. I'm Mario Leone. This is the Voices of Victory channel. And don't forget to click the Podbean link below to go over to my Patreon page. So I want to just get real about imposter syndrome with us right now. Okay, people always talk about it. But honestly, most of the explanations absolutely miss the target completely. Because it's not about talent. It has nothing to do with that. It has all to do with how you see yourself. So it's whether your self-image can actually keep up with actually what you're doing. That's why people feel like they're a fraud. Real simple. Their self-image, self-perception, how they perceive themselves are not connecting to what they're actually doing. So they say, I feel like a fraud. Not realizing that when you try something new for the first time, you're not going to be good at it. You're going to get better at it. You're going to increase. There are things. So you have to be able to acquire confidence through competence. That's the opportunity right there. It's totally where all of the weirdness goes down on this. Absolutely. Think about it. A lot of us have had those moments where everyone else seems convinced that you are actually crushing it and doing it quite well. But inside of yourself, I'm not too sure. I don't know about that. Right? That's what goes on. So you pulled off this big solid win, but it feels like you just got lucky. Although maybe you don't have enough competence in that area, meaning you haven't learned enough. Competence creates confidence. Or maybe somebody compliments your work and you get that awkward feeling of, wait, are they serious? Did they just compliment me? Or you actually land in a room that you've actually dreamed about, and you're there, and all you can think of is, how did I get here? So we have to be able to look at our perception of things and self-trust and building competence. Building competence doesn't have to be in large, swooping feats. It just simply has to be built bit by bit, piece by piece, a little by little. That's all. So that's imposter syndrome right there. Plain and simple. Okay? It is that doubt in the back of your skull that you somehow don't line up or match with what you're doing. So even though you're succeeding and that's how you feel. So it's not just nerves, but what we can understand it is that there's fears that are hiding out inside you, lingering in your mind. That worry that any second now someone's just going to pull the curtain back and say something. They might say something like, you're not actually good enough to be here, are you? So it's a common feeling. Even when people look confident, they're wrestling with it. Now, why is that? If you could look confident, but you're not competent in that area of expertise. So when you focus on building competence and understanding how you perceive yourself, you get to defeat the issue of imposter syndrome. It's a common feeling. Why does this happen, though? Essentially, we can understand it as this all of a sudden compulsion that literally is in between what you're doing and how you actually see yourself. It's right in the middle. It's that pivot point in the middle between how you see yourself and what you're doing. And your brain doesn't like loose ends, so it wants to tie it up. And the only way to tie that up is competence. It's not just how you're looking at yourself, it's competence. So you might overwork, second guess yourself, throw yourself into proving that you belong there, even though you've already earned the spot. And that's the interesting thing. It's very interesting at that. So you want to be able to totally get involved in your development of succeeding at a skill and counting your wins for it so you can gain competence. So if there's a skill and you want to learn the skill, take one skill, throw it on a document, throw it on a sheet of paper, and say, what are all the things that build this? And those are the things you have to get competent in. And you're going to check them off one at a time until you complete all of them. Then from there, you're now competent. You can now say, no one can call me an imposter because I've mastered it all. So it's all about mastery. It is about mastery. A great deal of it is about mastery. It's about mastering something to build that competence, so you build that confidence, so your self-perception actually improves. A lot of people don't realize it's a chain reaction from point A to point B. It's not just one thing. Oh, lean into it. No. Forget that. Start looking at where you need that competence and build it there. And you'll start to feel that way. You're going to have to take chances. You're going to have to do that. And I'm going to tell you a little story at the end of how you can do that. So here's the deal. I'm going to lay it all out in a way that actually makes sense for you. And I want you to think of it as an actual progression. It's almost like levels on a video game. So there's going to be a nice little progression here. And two people can do the exact same job, absolutely. And one person walks around unsure of themselves. And the other one walks around sure of themselves. So the other one feels like they're faking it and hoping that nobody actually notices. But the difference is about self-image. It does connect to self-image. How you look at yourself. That's also true. So competence is the skill building that you can do to gain confidence, but the perception of who you are is also going to count. That's also going to be important. So the real issue is that your actions are progressing faster than your identity can actually handle. It's basically what's going on. You're growing, but that little voice inside you, who am I, hasn't caught up yet. So every time you accomplish something, your brain goes through that little glitch in the skull. It doesn't fit the old story about yourself. So you get thoughts like, oh, that was just luck. Or that made a mistake and, they're just picking me and that was a mistake on their part. Honestly, this won't last. It's not even logical. It's your literal identity that's like lagging right behind you. But when you start to realize that you are a process, when you say, I am a process, that is the self-talk that gets you right back in there and say, I am a process. I am in the process of getting competent. And I'm going to do things anyway because sometimes when you take action, that builds confidence as you go. It's not always evident in the moment. So you can't chalk it up as just luck. From there, the cycle totally gets momentum. You start achieving more, you count your wins, but instead of feeling proud, you feel this inner pressure going on inside your heart. But you got to be able to ground yourself in what you're doing, understanding that you are a process. Stop pretending to fake confidence and actually just do it. Do it with competence building. Tell yourself, I am in the process of. Just pay attention to that. Your identity will actually catch up. And once it does, that good old feeling of you being a fraud will completely go away because there's nothing else left to defend. How could you possibly defend your competence? Like when you actually achieve something and you do it so well, you master it out so much, you become the GOAT in that area, the greatest of all time in that area. Like you beat on your craft, the craft of what you're doing. You when I say beat on it, you repeat that pattern over and over again till you build mastery to where no one can say anything because it's that good. But your self-perception is the one thing that you have to update. How you see yourself. I see myself as a person learning. I'm in the process of learning. I'm in the process of moving forward into success. We look at success as like this finish line. It's constant development. You are a process. You're growing, shaping, and changing every single day. It's not just be more confident. That doesn't work. The solution is you literally have to take a hard look at your self-perception, your competence, and your mastery. Ground yourself in what you know and what you are actually doing. Start with what you know and totally work that in. There's no need to pretend. There's no need to fake confidence. Just pay attention to be in the process of what you're doing and adjust how you see yourself. And your identity will just start to catch up nicely. And once it does, that feeling will actually fall away because you don't have to defend it anymore. There's no reason to. There's no reason to defend it. So here's the takeaway for today. Feeling like an imposter isn't some kind of red flag that you're secretly lacking inside of who you are. Usually it means you're growing and your self-image needs to actually catch up to that. So if you catch yourself doubting, and that's where it comes to self-doubt, the question you want to ask is, am I still seeing myself that way, in that old way? Or am I in the process of mastering this? So that's where so that is the secret to this entire problem. The secret of imposter syndrome is Consider yourself a process. Count your wins, or your wins do not count. You're there to build competence so your confidence can increase. And as your confidence increases, the way you look at yourself will also increase. Very important. Believing in yourself is the very first thing. If you're concerned about what else everyone else believes all the time, then you've totally handed your beliefs to the rest of the world, and you need to believe in who you are. Believe that you are a process, you are growing, shaping, and changing, and that you will continue to master your craft to where it's undeniable. You become the GOAT, and it's undeniable. And that's all I'm going to say. Have a great day. See you on the next episode. Don't forget to click the good old Podbean link below to go to my Patreon so we can grow together. Take care.